What's up? It's Noel. I'm back at it again with another vlog, and today I will be reviewing the book Animal Farm, written by George Orwell. I don't have the actual book with me because I checked it out from the library. But yeah, this is a book I read. So I'll just jump straight into the first section. So Animal Farm is basically a book about these animals. They have been kept on a farm their whole life. They've known nothing else. But they have grown tired of the injustice that the farmer has given them every day. Stealing all their eggs, milking all the cows, taking everything that belongs to them, giving them no food, treating them terribly. So the book's about these animals that decide, hey, we're going to revolt about our leader. That they basically decide that they're going to revolt, and they revolt, and things go well, and then basically they decide that they are going to create their own government and their own way of ruling the whole farm. And this government is basically controlled by the pigs. And then basically throughout the book we get to see the journey of the whole society and how basically the pigs will just kind of like that, kind of like how they will start to start the reign of terror, and then they'll start to take over the whole farm, and how basically they're able to, and then basically we get to see all the tactics that they use to rule all of the farm people until the point at which the pigs and the humans, they're basically the same. I mean, even though I just spoiled the book for you a little bit, I mean, this book is really nothing to spoil. It's quite a short book. This book was really just a political thing. George Orwell wrote this. He basically, this was a political statement for him. He wanted to show how communism was, and he wanted to show how like the people who decide to revolt against the government end up like the people, like the predecessors before them. They'll do the same rules, and the regular working class people will still be not benefited. The author's style in the book it's very typical of any other book that you'll ever read. It's like a third person style. It's just like it's just someone, it's someone who's watching over this and just saying what's happening. It's just like any other book. The author, obviously, George Orwell, wrote this as he wrote this as a statement about politics, about the way things are. So basically, it just so him throughout the book, his style was he was a very political writer. He wrote a lot of political type things. This actually got him into a lot of trouble later in his life. But yeah, George Orwell, he has a very distinct style of writing, which he uses a lot in this book. There are many literary devices in the book Animal Farm. One of the biggest that I like to point out is definitely symbolism. Symbolism really shows up in this book a lot. It's just, I mean, like this whole book is just like comparing it to real life. It's just like it's basically Orwell, who is basically comparing this book just to communism and how it's like it, and how communism it has been is just how it was changed, and basically and showing like how and like kind of how it became corrupted from the old beliefs. Yeah, so that's just basically what the whole book is. Just lots of symbolism. I think one of the major points of symbolism that you will notice immediately once you start reading this book is the pigs. The pigs symbolize basically all of the communist leaders after Lenin, because Lenin was the one who first came up with this with the communism system in Russia. He first started it, and then he died, and he couldn't see the fruition of the work. So then basically these pigs come up, and these pigs just model everyone else. And basically, these pigs are the ones who start to oppress the other farm animals slowly but surely. And basically the pigs are the ones, they're clever enough to make sure that, all these other animals don't even know that they're being oppressed, and don't even know that they're, being fed less than before, when they had, the farmer there to protect them. Um, also, basically, you will also notice how basically the rest of the animals are like the common folk. It's like, none of them it's kind of just like it's just basically like none of them know that they're being oppressed. Like they think, oh, it's all equal now. Communism, right? Basically they think, wow, this is such a fair form of government. But then no, in reality, it's the pigs that are oppressing this. And only at the very end of the book do some people start to realize this. But there are some people throughout the book who do realize this, as in the donkey. The donkey. His name was Benjamin. He realized this throughout the whole book. He knew that the pigs were oppressing. He knew that the pigs were creating a lifestyle that was worse than before. He knew that the pigs had so many secrets that they were covering things up. But basically the donkey said nothing about it. He just minded his own business. He didn't do anything about it. He really didn't care. I think that this really I think that this symbolizes people right? People that know something, people that know that something's wrong, and yet don't do anything about it. It's like people that know that things are wrong, but yet they don't want to step up and they don't want to get the job done and fix it. I think that that's what this character Benjamin, symbolizes. But I mean, like those are the major points of symbolism throughout this book. I have chosen to create a real world connection with this book, a real world connection with this book, because I believe that I feel like this is a topic that needs to be discussed. So Animal Farm, as I told before in all the previous sections, it's basically about communism and how it became corrupted from the original beliefs that it was founded on. I'm not supporting communism here. But I'm saying how it became, the modern communism that is today. So basically, one of the major real life examples that I'd like to point to is North Korea. North Korea is obviously a communist, totalitarian government. It is basically, governed by Kim Jong Un. He has absolute power. He has the power to kill any political enemies, people that don't agree with his views. Kind of just exactly like Animal Farm, as in how the pigs would kill anyone who stood in their way of their, agenda. They would have the dogs, and those dogs would be around them. They would, frighten people. It was a reign of terror, like literally, and that's how it is in North Korea. Except in North Korea, also, I'd also like to draw another, thing between North Korea and Animal Farm. The citizens, basically, the citizens of North Korea and Animal Farm have an undying love for their leader. I mean, in North Korea, it's Kim Jong Un, and then in Animal Farm, it's Napoleon. I mean, it's so similar. Like you could not deny the similarities between these two books. I mean, like this is how North Korea is different, and then North Korea it's just communist. It's exactly like this book. It's like the these similarities between these books are just so uncanny. It's ridiculous. Another real world example that I'd like to connect it to is Russia, Cuba. It's just like any other it's just any other communist nation that is there. It seems just to follow the same principles as Animal Farm. Yet people just really just don't. It's just yet the people and then it's yet people who read this book and know something's wrong will not do anything about it. I think that's just one of the real world connections that I like to bring up in relation to this book. So in closing, this book was very good. I mean, I probably won't read it again, but it's like one of those books that's like interesting. It really shows you the truth of life. It shows you it's very political. It's definitely the most political book I've ever read. It's just the most politically charged. I mean, it really showed me. It showed me that even though you will revolt against the oppressor, I mean, things will end up the same unless there's real change. But there wasn't. I think that's just really that's something that's quite depressing, but that sometimes it's true. I feel like it's true. Like even even now, even though we have a change of presidents, every 4 to 8 years, things never get better. It's like that. I just feel like it speaks to now. It speaks in volume to now even. Yeah, I mean, I would recommend you read this book just for it's very informational. It's very interesting. I call it, I call it I'd call it an interesting read. It's not really a fun read. It's not one of my favorite books, but I really just I would recommend you read this book. With that, I've come to end this vlog. Thank you so much for watching through this very interesting vlog. Just please like, comment, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be posting another vlog hopefully today. Okay, see you.